Stampers, thanks for joining me today. I'm really excited to share this card with you today. I think you're going to be super excited to find out how easy it is. It looks tough, but it's not. We simply add some stamps, ink, and use sponges. So come on, let's get started. All right, to get started, here's what I did. To stamp my trees, I stamped it approximately 3 times to get it all the way across my cardstock. This is Whisper White. And then I just slid my stamp down and I stamped multiple times just to fill in so it was nice and dark around the bottom. And that's really how simple the stamping part of it is. And I absolutely love this tree stamp from the Wonderland stamp set. It's just a great stamp set, and that is a stamp I'll be able to use all year long on a variety of cards. So to make the moon, and I'll just show you the card one more time. To make that moon, I actually used Post-it notes. I have these little Post-its, and I'm going to use 2 because it's easier to punch 2 than 1. Post-its sometimes are too thin, unlike cardstock, and then they will just kind of bend in your punch. And I want to make sure to catch the sticky end, and there's a reason for that. I want the sticky end down because when I stroke with my sponges and doing the inking on this, I'm going to stroke from the bottom of my paper up. And so what I'm starting with first is Smoky Slate. And one of the things that I've done to make it a little easier for me and people that come to my class is I have punched a decorative label out of each color. So I've got a Smoky Slate one with these fun paper clips. Just makes it a little easier, even though I end up all inky. Sometimes I protect my fingers just a little bit by adding a little bit of care in the front end. If you really don't like to get inky fingers, I recommend using latex gloves because you're going to get inky fingers when you do this technique. And so you notice I stroke from the bottom up, and I've added some Smoky Slate streaks just in the background. They're soft and subtle. Next I'm going to come in with Blackberry Bliss. And again, I'm starting at the bottom and working my way up. And the reason I'm doing that is, again, I'm going to avoid flipping my little Post-it. And you can, wherever you put a little bit more pressure, you're just going to get a little bit more color. You can still see the gray through that. Then I'm going to set that one aside. I'm going to come in with my Night of Navy. And I sometimes, when I've done these, have gone back and used each color more than once just because you can always add color. But once you get started and get it on your paper, you can't take it away. And so it's easier to continue to add. And you want it a little darker on the bottom, you can just go ahead and use your sponge at a different angle. It's just we're avoiding flipping our moon over so that we get ink underneath that spot. We want to remain white that we've masked. And so now to get the edges darker, I'm going to actually hold my cardstock and use my sponge on the edges at a right angle because that makes them nice and dark in color. And you can actually bring it in a little bit. And then when I want to get more color, I'm actually going to use my sponge in a circular motion. We want to avoid the streaks up here because I want it to kind of be filled in and nice and dark. Anyway, you can just continue to do that. Then you can go back if you want to and add more of the Blackberry Bliss. There really is no right and wrong, and every one that I have done has turned out a little bit different. That's what makes it fun. You can use different colors. There really is no right or wrong way to do this. So you'll notice I've kind of quit with mine just a little bit lighter than the first one that I had done. And I just wanted you to see the difference as I pull that moon off, how fun that is. And then to add the splatter, I have a video called, what did I call it? Sparkling Splatter or something like that. Splattered Sparkle. Anyway, I watered down Tombow liquid glue and used a paintbrush, and I've got another video on that technique where I did that on some leaves. And so you can, same technique, and that just adds that kind of scattered but a little bit more significant amount of glitter stuck to it. You want to make sure and use an embossing buddy over the surface of your cardstock before you do that. And so the dimensions of my first layer that we did the stamping and sponging on is 3 3/4 by 5. And then I've got a layer of white that is just 1/8 inch bigger than that. So what that be, 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And I just want it to leave that nice little white border. And then I've put it actually on the rich raspberry. It's a little bit brighter than Blackberry Bliss, and I really liked how that looked. And then on my card, for my inside, I just simply added a piece of Whisper White that was 4 by 5 1/4 and added a little bit of stamping. This was my sample at class this month, so you see I got a little bit of munge on there, but it still works. And then to make my banner, that's also a strip that's just cut off when I'm cutting my paper. And that even though the triple banner punch is designed to use with a 1 inch, 1.5 or 2 inch strip of paper, you can actually use it for any size and simply flip it over so you're using it upside down, and then you can center your piece of paper and punch that little V. Takes the guesswork out of trying to do it with a scissor, and then just add that to the front of your card, cut it the length you need. And then last but not least are these really pretty embellishments. They're the Winter Wonderland embellishments. And I just added that with a glue dot to my banner, which really adds a nice touch and brings out the sparkle in the card. Anyway, I hope you love the card. I hope you'll give this technique a try. Thanks so much for stopping by.